Today, I am answering a frequently asked questions by travelers and travel agents alike. What are the places, if any, that Americans can go without having a passport? And is there a master list somewhere of where US citizens can go without a passport? Related question, do I need a passport to go on a cruise? If you've ever wondered any of these things, stay tuned because we're answering that question right here in this video. There are two major kinds of places, or I should say ways of traveling, that Americans or US citizens can do to avoid having a passport while you travel. But I also want to add a disclaimer here. I always tell travel agents and travelers when I'm acting as an advisor myself that it's always a good idea to have your passport with you when you're traveling because you never know what's going to happen. Flights can get diverted, flights can get canceled or delayed, and you might have to change your travel plans. And you can see that depending on the route you take, you might actually need a passport. So if you haven't already thought about it, let's get into that list now. First, let's answer that first question. Where, if anywhere, can US citizens go without a passport? The simple answer is anywhere in the States, which I'm sure you already know. But as far as going abroad, you can go to what is considered a US territory. Now, whether or not these are considered independent countries is very much political, and we're not going to get into that in this episode. We're just looking at the letter of the law as far as entry. And you can get into several countries that are US territories without a passport as an American or US citizen. And that includes Puerto Rico, the US Virgin Islands, Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands. But there are some caveats there, so let's talk about those now. Puerto Rico is probably the easiest to get to. You can find so many flights from Atlanta, from Miami, from Orlando, and you'll often find that if you're coming from the west or up north, you might have to do a couple of other flights unless you're in a major hub to get to Puerto Rico. It kind of is a tough place to get to, although more and more cruises in the Caribbean are actually using Puerto Rico as a port and as a stop. So that's something to consider if you do love to cruise. And we'll get to cruises in a minute because this is definitely a related topic. So the US Virgin Islands, there are two sets of Virgin Islands. There's the US Virgin Islands and the British Virgin Islands. Now, obviously, if we're going to the British Virgin Islands, that's like us going to the UK as US citizens. But if you go to the US Virgin Islands, it's basically like you're going to another state in the US, so long as you don't have any places in transit that are not in the US. If you are going, for example, from the mainland US to Puerto Rico to US Virgin Islands, that's totally fine. However, if you were flying to the US Virgin Islands via the Bahamas, for example, not that you would, but let's just say that you would need a passport to enter and transit through the Bahamas. I'm going to apologize in advance for pronunciation. I did look them up, but sometimes these things aren't correct. So the Northern Mariana Islands, which includes Saipan, Tinian, and Rota, you can visit as a US citizen without a passport. However, just keep in mind that the places you go in transit also have to be okay for US citizens without passports, and it's always good for you to have one anyway. If you want to make sure that you have a more smooth flight and you don't have a passport and you're not going to be able to get one before your trip, you can also check to see if the layovers are going to be in places within the US. So for example, if you're going to Guam, make sure that if you do have a layover, it's in a place like Hawaii so that you'll be fine there without a passport. Some of these places do require for you to have a birth certificate, even if you do also have a government issued ID like a driver's license. So usually it's just worth it to bring your passport anyway, but that's something to keep in mind. Having a copy of your birth certificate is really helpful. So as I mentioned before, you can go to a US territory, which I just mentioned, but you can also do closed loop cruises and avoid having to bring a passport. So let me explain. If you are taking a closed loop cruise, meaning you are starting a cruise that both begins and ends at a port within the United States, you don't necessarily need to have a passport, but of course, always check with the cruise line. And if you're a traveler watching this and you're booking with a travel agent, definitely check with them and they can verify that information for you. But there are many closed loop cruises that, for example, leave from New York or Florida that you don't need to have your passport, even if you are visiting places outside of the United States on your cruise. Some of these countries include Mexico. So if you're going to a cruise that includes a stop at Ensenada, Cozumel, Cabo San Lucas, then you should be okay as long as it's a closed loop cruise, but you will still need to have a government issued ID like a driver's license as well as your birth certificate. The Bahamas, Bermuda, the Caribbean islands like Jamaica, St. Lucia, Barbados, etc., and Canada, if you're doing an Alaska cruise, are all included in that closed loop. But again, this is always with an asterisk. Be sure to check before you book. And then depending on what's going on politically and just in the world, these requirements for entry can change at any time. So I always recommend going to the embassy.gov websites if you're not sure about what's required to enter. Now, here are some other special considerations to keep in mind. You're going to need a real ID even for flights within the United States. So it's definitely a good idea to get an appointment on the calendar to get that taken care of if you haven't already. And if you're a travel agent watching this, make sure your clients know this too. Whenever you're flying traveling internationally, you do need a passport. And while it can sometimes be very quick to get one, either renewed or for the first time, I always recommend allowing at least 3 months, because sometimes when it's a busy season, it can take that long to get your passport either for the first time or renewed. So make sure you always do at least a month, if not several months in advance of when you will actually need it. I would love to hear from you, especially if you've been to one of these places before. How is your experience going to one of these US territories as an American US citizen without a passport? Let us know in the comments. Have you learned anything going to any of these countries? Many people have questions about it. So if you've had an experience, go ahead and drop it in the comments below so other people can learn. And if you have any questions or want to work with a travel agent, I know so many wonderful ones, you can let me know here in the comments, or always send me a DM on Instagram over at Travel Agent Haven. I also help people become travel agents. So if you're watching this like, I already knew all this stuff, I travel all the time, maybe you want to be a travel agent yourself, we'd love to help you do that. Thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Brittany, and this is Travel Agent Haven. Be sure to like this video to give a signal to YouTube that it was good if you felt that it was helpful, and subscribe if you want to learn more about traveling like an insider. Talk soon.